ọmọ mi ṣe tèmi tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi ṣe rere tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi ṣe tèmi tí á dára o. Má ṣe rere gbàdúrà fún mi. Bàbá mi á ṣe rere gbàdúrà fún mi. Bọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní màmá ẹ̀ ló kọ́ ọ. Bọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní pápá ẹ̀ ló kọ́. Fọ́nà mi láyé. Bá mi fọ́nà tó dáhùn mi láyé. Ọmọ mi ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Ọmọ mi ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Bum, 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 bum. Hello and welcome to Princess Dammy's Mind. My name is Princess Dammy. You're watching me today on MTM Studio in London. Today's program is dedicated to my daughter, Becky. My daughter Becky, she's preparing for her Gcse Business Studies exams, and I'm just using this video production to help her out to study and to revise. I do not own the copyright to that lovely song by Rookie, but I love Rookie too, and I'm happy to dedicate that song to my daughter Becky. Okay, let's go. Becky. This is Gcse Business Studies for Becky, my daughter. This is home study for Becky from mother to daughter. This is one way I help my children with their studies. Becky can revise business studies even while walking to school because she could put on her headphone on to listen to me rather than listening to secular music. Becky could also watch this video on YouTube while revising in school or at home if I'm too busy to attend to her. Becky could share this video with her school friends who might need the help in this subject. So this video will be in series so as to cover all the Gcse Business Studies syllabus that Becky will be sitting for. I believe parents are the best teacher. Best of luck to my daughter Becky. Mommy loves you. Let's go. The reason why we have to sing before going into this lesson is because I love warming up. I love dancing and I love my daughter to warm up before going into studies. When you warm up, your spirit opens up, your head is refreshed, your brain is ready to assimilate. That's just the reason why we have to sing and dance before we go into any lessons. But right now, I'm doing this lesson for my daughter because she's in school right now. So by the time she comes back home, this video is done. She can then just go on YouTube and listen to me, blah, blah, blah. That is if I'm not available at home. Okay, so Becky, let's go studying. So Becky, the first thing the examiners will expect you to understand is the concept of business studies. What business studies is and how businesses are run or expected to be run. I'm sure the first question that will come to your mind will be, what is a business study? Or what is a business? So what is a business? You might ask me. A business is an organization that produces good or provides a service. A business is an organization that produces good or provides a service. An organization must either produce good or provides a service for their customers. Examples of organizations are farms, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Specsavers, NHS, BBC, Sky TV, and Apple that produces iPhone. So, what is a good? When they say an organization must produce a good, so what is a good? So, a good is a product. And what is the product? A product is an item you can see, hold, touch, or something visible and physical. An example of product is your mobile phone, your shoes, clothes, earrings, and so many other materials that you may have, that you may hold on to, or you can see in the physical. Because a product is physical, that makes it tangible. I underline the word tangible here. Tangible. Yeah? Tangible. So what is tangible? When they say a product is tangible, it's just another English word for something physical, something you can touch. But service provided by an organization is intangible because you can't touch it. It is not physical. An example of a service is when your doctor cares for you, when a nurse looks after a patient in hospital, or when a lawyer advises his client. So, product and services are different, but they are both produced and provided by an organization. An organization, remember, is a business. Therefore, an organization that either produces a product or provides a service is a business. Let me repeat. What is a business, Becky? A business is an organization. You can see I've underlined it there for you. Organization that produces good or provides a service. So in your exam, if you're asked the question, what is a business? You have to mention organization, good, service for the definition of business studies to be complete, or business to be complete. Otherwise, you're going to get it wrong. So a business is an organization that produces good or provides a service. So an example of such an organization that produces good or services could be farms, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Specsavers, NHS, BBC, Sky TV, and Apple company that produces your iPhone. So a good is a product. For somebody to say, oh, I've got a business, it's either they're producing a product, an item, or they're providing a service. So a product is an item you can see, hold, touch, or something visible or physical. An example of a product is your mobile phone, your shoes, your clothes, earrings, and so many other things that you have in your wardrobe there or at home that you can see in the physical. Because the product is physical, that makes it tangible. Underline the word tangible. Tangible is just another English word for something physical, something you can touch. But service provided by an organization is intangible because you can't touch it. It is not physical. An example of a service is when your doctor cares for you, when a nurse looks after a patient in hospital, or when a lawyer advises his clients. For instance, Becky, when you go to see your doctor, it's not going to give you anything to come back home with, like, physical from him that you have to pay him for. It just cares for you, it advises you or prescribes you a medication, but it's not giving you anything in return for money or like a good or something, that can, And the same thing goes with a nurse. When you go to an hospital, you see, the nurses don't give you anything that you can say, oh, this is my product, but they care for you to provide a service of care. And when you go see a lawyer, or when someone sees a lawyer, the lawyer advises them, or the lawyer represents them in court, which means the lawyer doesn't really give them anything like a product in the physical, but they are providing a service. So product and services are different, but they are both produced or provided by an organization. Therefore, an organization that either produces a product or provides a service is a business. You get me now? Okay, let's go there. So, I believe that is clear. Let's go to the next slide. All right, Becky. What business studies is all about? You need to know what business studies is all about. What is it about? When somebody says, oh, business studies or business, what is it all about? What do they really expect you to know? What do they really expect you to know? So, in a nutshell, that is to say, in short, there are just 6 major aspects that they want you to know in this your Gcse business studies. Okay? The first one is business studies is about deciding on the type of business to do and planning on how to do it. So, for instance, you want to have a business, you need to find out, or you need to know the type of business you want to go into. Are you going to a production, or are you going into a service business, or do you want to stay alone to do it all by yourself, or do you want to partner with other people, or do you want to work with the government to do something? So it depends on what you want to do. So you need to decide on the type of business to do. So if you decide on what you want to do, then you need to start planning on how to do it. Remember, I taught you a few weeks back about glassy pool. Remember glassy pool? Glassy pool. So in making decision on the type of business to do and planning on how to do it, there is something you need to remember. Glassy pool. Remember, the G stands for, let me show you again. Let's go there so that you can understand. So glassy pool here. The G stands for gross, the L stands for location, the S stands for site, and the E stands for enterprise. Okay, I think I'm missing that one out here. The E for enterprise, and then the P for planning, the O for objectives, and the another next O for ownership. So remember, I've missed something out here. It's supposed to be, I need to have enterprise here, somewhere here. Okay, let's see if I can put it in there. So where is it gonna come into? We've got GLS. So it's gonna be like this. Sites. E for enterprise. E for enterprise, and we got P for planning, we got O for objectives, and another O for ownership. Okay, so glassy pool is the code that we use to describe the business activity. That is your code that you came up with a few weeks back for you to be able to remember the content of business activity. So when you remember glassy pool, you're actually covering everything under business activity. So if you're planning your business, you need to think about the growth. You need to plan the growth, the rate at which you want the business to grow, the location you want the business to be, or the site. If you are doing production, the site, the enterprise, the planning, that is, you need to come up with like business plan. Then you need to have objectives. You need to have ownership. You need to know about ownership. You need to know about your objectives. Then A, I'm missing out on A as well. So what is A? Remember? A is aim. So your business must have aims and objectives. So we have, let's start all over again. G for growth, L for location, A for aims, site, S for site, E for enterprise, P for planning, O for objectives, and another O for ownership. These are the things you know under business activities when you are planning to have a business. When you are planning to have a business, you need to think about the rate at which you want your business to grow, the location you're going to put your business into, your aims, your objectives, your business plan, your enterprise, your objectives, and the kind of ownership you want. That is, you want to have a sole trading, or do you want to have partnership, or do you want to have limited company, or whatever. We come to that later. Okay, let's go back now to where we were so that I'm not jumping the queue. So I was talking about glassy pool. So glassy pool, GLASEPOO, like I've just described to you a few minutes ago. Now, deciding on the type of business to do and planning on how to do it. So that's number one thing you want to think about business. So business studies is about deciding on the type of business to do and planning on how to do it. Then the second thing you need to start thinking about is understanding the external factors that could affect your business. Last few weeks we called that TGL. Okay, so when you want to have a business, you know that definitely you're going to be affected. Your business is going to be affected by external factors. External factors are the factors that could influence your business, things that you cannot control, that they are beyond your control. They are not within your control. They are external factors. A few weeks ago we called them TGL. Yeah, you came up with the code TGL for it. Let's find out what TGL means. TGL? Okay, TGL. So TGL means technology, ethics, environment, globalization, economics, legislation. So these are the external factors that will be affecting any business or any type of business at all. So they are external factors: technology, ethics. So T for technology, E for ethics, the second E for environment, and the G for globalization, and the E for economics, and L for legislation. Legislation is like law affecting your business, because you have to abide by the law of the nation in which your business is being operating, okay, or any business is being operating. Now let's go back to where we were. All right, now so the third thing that business study is all about is deciding on method of production and how to supply your goods or services. So when you have a business, or someone is planning to have a business, they have to decide on the method of production, especially if they want to produce a product. And then they need to start thinking of how to supply the product or the services to the customers. So we call that, in the code you used for this last week is JBMF. So when you're thinking about this stage of business planning, the code is JBMF. So let's find out what JBMF stands for. Okay, JBMF productions. J stands for job production, and B stands for batch productions, and M stands for mass production, and F for flow production. These are the type of business productions that you will be learning pretty soon in other few videos that we'll be covering. Okay, all right. So as you can see, so step 1 is to decide on the type of the business to do and planning on how to do it. Glassy pool. The second one is to understand the external factors that could affect your business or anybody's business, and we call that TGL. And then the next stage is to decide on the method of production and how to supply your goods or services, and we call that JBMF. Okay, it's always good to use codes that you can easily remember in the exam. When you are asked a question, if you put glassy pool, you can quickly write down a bullet point of what glassy pool stands for. Then you can then develop your literature or your explanation towards whatever question you are asked. Okay, and the fourth thing that you need to understand is understanding different ways you could get money to do your business, because every business need money. So, and there are different ways one could get money to start a business or to put money into a business if the business is already running. And once you have the money to run your business, you need to start thinking of how to account for all the money that is coming in and the money that is going out of the business. Okay, in business terminology, they call such things cash flow forecast, cash flow analysis, or profit and loss account statement. It depends on where you are at the business. For instance, if you're at the beginning of a business, you can do something like something called cash flow forecast. That is, you need to forecast how much money you need to come in, how much money you need to go out. So because it's a forecast, you have not done it yet, so you're just budgeting for it. So we call it forecast. But once you start a business and your money and you're running the business, yeah, you already know how much is coming in, you know how much is going out. Then you need to do something called cash flow analysis, which is the money coming in, cash inflow, and the money going out, cash outflow. So when you analyze how much is coming in, how much is going out, that is called cash flow analysis. And at the end of the financial year, let's say at the end of every 12 months, every year, when you've done all your productions or your sales or your whatever you're doing, yeah, you need to come up with a statement called profit and loss account. That is to give you the information about how much money you've made or how much money you've lost in the business and all that. And this document, the ones for profit and loss account, is very, very important. It's a legal document that must be produced by businesses, for the government especially. Okay, for tax purposes and all that. We get to that when we get there. Okay, don't let me confuse you. Let's just keep it simple. Okay, so now the next thing that people do in business is to promote and advertise the goods or services. So they need to know how to promote or advertise the goods or the services. That is where pricing comes into it, branding comes into it, and marketing comes into it. You need to be able to set your price right, get the right price for the product. You need to brand your product. Some people do branding, like we have different designer products these days. It's called branding. They just give them name to brand them, whatever, And then, for instance, when you go to Tesco to buy something, or you buy milk, they have Tesco brand. Okay, so anyway, we get there pretty soon when I'm teaching you later in other videos about this aspect of business studies. Then the last thing on your syllabus that you need to know or about business studies is determining the type of people to employ to work for you. How many people you need, when, how, and what they will cost you. So if anyone wants to do a business, these are the 6 main aspects of business that they need to know about. You need to decide on the type of business you want to do. You need to plan on how you want to do it. Glassy pool. Then you need to understand the external factors that could affect your business, which we call TGL: technology, ethics, environment, globalization, enterprise, legislation, different things like that will be affecting your business, because These are the aspects that you cannot control, but you need to incorporate this information into your business plan, because if you don't, or if they don't, then the business might fail. Okay, and then I'm recapping now. So they need to decide on the method of production and how to supply the goods or services to people. So these are decision making stages. Then they need to understand different ways they could get money to do the business. So there are different ways people could get money, or we call it capital or money into the business. So I'm going to teach you that as well later. I'm going to show you different ways people could raise money to do their business. All right. So the next one is now they need to promote their business. They need to bring awareness to the people, to customers, so they need to do certain things to advertise. So we're going to get there as well. So, and then every business needs people. Every business needs human beings to operate the business. So they need to look for people that have the right skills, people that can help them to make the business grow and everything. And they need to do come up with decisions on how many people they need, what sort of expertise they need, what sort of people they need, when do they need them, how many of them do they need, and how much is it going to cost them, because they need to pay these people. It's not free. Okay. All right. Let's go, Becky. So, Becky, I'm going to show you now what you need to know to pass your Gcse business studies. 1, you must know how to answer exam questions when you're asked to explain, discuss, describe, assess, advise, identify. Because in your exam paper, they're going to ask you to explain something, or discuss something, or describe something, or assess something, or advise somebody, or identify something. So these are the common terms they use in asking you questions. And you must understand how to answer questions that starts with this kind of questioning. Explain, discuss, describe, assess, advise, identify. Okay, I don't want you to get too confused. All right, but I'm going to show you how to know. I'm going to show you, where is it now? Okay, let's go to the next one. Is here. So how do you now answer those questions of explain, describe, assess, identify? What are they really asking you to do when they use the terminology explain? So this is what I'm going to tell you now. Okay, so when they ask you to explain, they're actually asking you to provide information about something by giving clear report or statement about it. Okay, they want you to provide that information. They explain something. If they ask you, Becky, can you explain to me what you did in school today? Then that means you need to give an overall information or overall information about everything you did in school from the minute you got into school until you finish. You understand? Okay. Or if you had, let me use another thing that might maybe make you laugh. I don't know. Maybe somebody slapped you in school. Maybe if a classmate slapped you, and the teacher goes, "Oh, Becky, can you explain to me how this how this fight started?" No, and then how this fight started. So you're gonna have to give your teacher the thorough explanation, information about how the fight started. Okay? Well, I don't pray anybody slaps you in school though. Otherwise, I'm going to go really mad. Okay? So explanation is to provide information about something by giving clear report or statement about it. So in your exams, if they ask you to explain something, this is what you should be giving them. The information about whatever it is. The information must be clear, concise, and be spot on. Okay? All right. Now, when they use the word describe, ask you a question by describe something. Here, you have to provide narratives of whatever you are asked to describe. So you provide a comprehensive information for the examiner. If I ask you to describe your friend, you might say, my friend is a black girl from West London. She's 5 feet tall, brown eyes with golden hair. She's a very sociable girl who enjoys partying and sporting. When she laughs, her eyes blinks. She often wears glasses. You are describing her. So you are giving a total description of your friend. The same way when you're sitting your exams and when they ask you, describe something, whatever they are asking you to describe. For instance, they might ask you to describe what you understand by sole trader or sole trading. Then that means you want to tell them everything about sole trader business or sole trading business, their advantages, their disadvantages, what it's all about, what it means. Okay, that's how to describe something. Okay, they might actually also use the word assess. Assess. We ask you to assess something. Here you are asked to provide your own judgment about something. So when you're assessing something, you are providing your own judgment, but your judgment must be based on facts presented to you. So here they're looking for critical thinking and analysis. Okay? So critical thinking and analysis is required here. So this is about your judgment. So they expect you to observe whatever it is, or to read the information, or to analyze the information and then make your own judgment. Okay, so when you see the question starting from assess, so they're looking for your analysis and your judgment. So you analyze the scenario or the question or whatever, or the information they're giving you, and then you provide your own judgment, your own opinion about whatever it is. Okay, all right then. Another question may ask you to identify. Here you are asked to pinpoint or pick out something from the information provided for you. So they might give you loads of scenario or a big information, long information about something, and they say, can you identify? When they ask you to identify something, they want you to, they expect you to have eye for details and be able to have logical thinking, to know what to pick, how to pick it, how to analyze information and then extract the information. So here you must be able to extract information. Okay, let me put it here. Okay, you must be able to extract the information from let's say should I say from the resource, or from the information from scenarios? Let's say from scenarios or scenario questions. Okay, so when they ask you to identify, you're looking for pinpointing something, picking out something, and then be able to extract information from a massive information. All right, let's go. So now, advise. Okay, here we go. So when a question asks you to advise business A, B, C, okay, your examiner may ask you to advise a business, or advise somebody who's going into a business, or somebody who's already into a business. So when they use the word advise, they expect you to provide advice in form of guidance or direction to help someone or business organization to make informed decision. So this person relies on your advice, relies on your intelligence, or on your knowledge of business studies or of business. So your advice must be business studies, knowledge based. You must use business key terms and terminologies, that is business languages. So if you're asked to advise a business entrepreneur or business person, or so to say, You can't be using your chemistry terminologies. You can't use your history terminologies. You cannot use your PE terminologies. You cannot use your, what other subjects are you doing now? Your ICT terminologies. So you basically must be using business languages. So you advise them, using business languages. Okay? So because this person relies on your advice, and your advice must be business studies knowledge based. So you must understand business studies or business, in general, before you could be able to offer an advice. And when you offer this advice, you must make sure you're using business languages, terminologies. This is very, very important. Okay? Then a question may ask you to discuss, which is this one here. Discuss. If they ask you to discuss, here you will have to talk about whatever you are asked to discuss. You will need to examine the information provided for you and analyze it like a debate. So here you want to talk. You want to debate. Yeah. So you want to display knowledge here. There's room for your personal judgment here as well. After discussion, analyzing everything, you can still give your opinion, give your analysis and opinion about whatever it is they're asking you to do. You can give your own opinion, but must be based on your factual knowledge of business studies. Okay? Sentiments and emotions are not allowed in business studies. You just must be factual, honest, and be a respecter of business law, environment, and other external factors. So this is not this is not a room for you to show emotions. For instance, if they give you a scenario about somebody who owns a business and the business is failing, or this person is going through personal problem and everything, and they ask you to discuss or to advise, it's not, you cannot be emotional. You just have to advise or discuss the situation affirmatively, without any sentiments, no emotions. Okay? You have to apply all the business law, all the business ethics, all the business environment, all the business external factors, all the business terminologies, to explain yourself, or to discuss whatever you are discussing. Okay? So, let's go. So the next one we're gonna do is this one. What you need to know to pass your Gcse study. So the second thing that you must know is you must know how your exam papers are split in reference to your syllabus. Okay? So first and foremost, you're gonna do two exam papers in business studies. The first exam paper, the paper 1, is 62.5%. Yeah? And the second paper is 37.5%, and in total they both make 100%. Okay, so the paper 1 requires short answers and explanations. Okay, so they're going to be asking you to just give them short answers or to explain something. They may ask you questions like what is business studies, or what is customer service. They might ask you something like so those are short questions. They might ask you something like, what is market research? What do business why do businesses carry out market research? Yeah. And then they may ask you questions like, give 3 main reasons why business carry out market research. In that instance, you need to explain. They're looking for your explanation. Yeah. So those are the kind of questions you'll be seeing under paper 1. And as you can see, paper 1 is very important. It carries 62.5% of your exam. So you need to be very, very serious about every topic that comes under paper 1. Yeah. Then paper 2 requires quantitative data analysis and explanations. So that is, I'm going to show you pretty soon. Let me see, somewhere here, what sort of questions will be coming up on the paper 2. Let's see, we're gonna get there. I think is it here? No. Okay, I think it's here. Paper 2, paper 1. Okay, is here. Okay, here we go. So under paper 1, which is 62.5% of your exam, the syllabus areas to focus on are this: business activity, the glassy pool. Remember your glassy pool? You need to focus on external factors that affect businesses, business production or operations, your JBMF productions, human resources, which is recruitment and training. Like, you're going to employ people to do the business for you, and how to do recruitment, how to train them, how to motivate them, how to make sure everybody's happy, how to make sure you're getting the right people in, you're paying them the right salary and stuff like that. Okay, so you need to know finance as well, sources of your finance, sources of finance for businesses and stuff like that. So this part is actually explanation part of business finance topic, which has got nothing to do with quantitative data. That is, here they're not going to be asking you for figures in finance. They're just going to be asking you for explanations about finance in general, business finance in general. So here they want you to display your understanding, your knowledge about business finance. Okay, then the next thing that this exam paper will cover will be something like marketing, which is explanation part of marketing topic, so as to display your knowledge, your understanding of business marketing as well. So on paper 1, you're not going to be doing any computations, you're not going to be doing any calculations. It's just going to be short answers and explanations. So you need to be well grounded on these topics, these areas of business studies. Okay, then on paper 2 is going to be focusing on quantitative data analysis and explanation. So here is going to be covering something like business plan, and the business plan is part of your business activities. Like initially when you're planning your business, you're planning to start a business, you need to have a business plan, and when your business is going and everything, you still need to be reviewing your business plan. So I'm going to show you all this later. Okay, this is just introduction. Okay, so don't let me get you too confused. So the aspect you need to know under paper 2 is how to provide business plan, because it's quantitative data analysis, so you'll be doing some competitions, you'll be doing some figure works here. Yeah, so you will need to be able to draw up a business plan given a particular scenario that your teacher or the examiner will be asking you, in respect of any information you'll be given about a business or whatever. So you need to be able to draw up a business plan. You must be able to know how to do business plan. Okay, I'm gonna teach you that later as well, so don't worry yourself. Okay, so the second thing they might be asking you under quantitative data analysis and explanation is finance part of business studies, and this area of business studies will be like performance, financial performance. You will be analyzing financial data. Okay, they might give you scenario 1 + 2 = 5 or whatever. Anyway, we get there slowly. So they may ask you to do something like cash flow. Earlier on I mentioned cash flow, which is cash inflow, cash outflow, cash flow forecast. Cash inflow is how much is coming in for you, where your money is coming from. So you're going to be able to make an account of where all the money that's coming into the business is coming from. Okay, then cash outflow is all the money that's is going out, is being spent by the business or is going out of the business. That is the money you're spending. So the cash inflow will be your income for the business, the cash outflow will be your expenses for the business, and the cash flow forecast is your estimates, like forecasting, like the budget for your business when you're starting out. Okay, so they might ask you to do something like this in an exam, so you need to really master this topic. Okay, don't worry, we get there together. I'll show you how to do it. Now the third one is profit and loss account. This is like the annual account. Let me just actually put it there. Annual account, that has to be prepared for your company as well as for the government. For your business and for government, for tax purposes, or for taxation purposes, or purpose. Okay, let's leave it at that. All right, so if you're already trading, you already have your business, so the government is going to ask you to produce profit and loss account. The profit and loss account is not just for providing for the government. You need it as well to be able to evaluate your business performance, to be able to know if you're making profit or you're making a loss in your business, so that you'll be able to make informed decision on how to get the business going. Okay, so anyway, I'll show you everything. So because this is quantitative data analysis and explanation, you need to be able to do all these things and be able to explain what the figures mean. Okay, then you might be asked to do something like revenue and cost analysis. Yeah, and then you might be able to, they might ask you to explain them as well. So they will give you different scenarios and say, okay, from this figure now that you've come up with, can you explain A, B, C, D, E? Can you explain this figure? Can you explain if this business is going to be making it in future or whatever? So you need to be able to analyze, explain your figures. So two things: you must be able to do computations, do your calculations, and be able to give explanations on the figures, so that you'll be able to advise the business on their performance. Okay, then under this exam paper 2, they might ask you anything to do with pricing. That comes under marketing. So how to price or come up with the price on your product. Okay, then they may ask you to do something like sales analysis, which comes under business operation. Now you are selling your products. They might ask you to calculate how much you've sold over a certain period or whatever. So sales analysis. Okay, so then you might be asked to do production cost analysis, break-even analysis. All these are computations. These are where the figures are, and this carries 37.5% of our exam. So it is very important that you understand how to calculate some figures, especially this aspect that I'm showing you right now, and be able to explain the figures. Never mind, we get there. Okay, we will get there. All right, now let's go there. What's next? Where am I? Okay, where am I? Okay, where am I? All right, Becky. Now, Becky, also, these are the things you need to know to pass your GCSE Business Studies. The the third thing you need to know is, or that you must know, are this. You must know why people set up a business. This is very, very crucial because you're doing business studies, okay? You need to understand why people set up a business. Why are they doing business? Why are they doing it? Or are they just doing it for nothing? Yeah? So people don't do anything for nothing. Yeah? People don't waste time because time is money. So in this world we're living in, nobody does anything for nothing. There's always a reason and a purpose for everything that people do. Okay? So you need to understand why people set up a business. So you also need to understand business study terminologies. I've told you that before. Terminologies. Yep, I think I got that spelling right. That's fine. So you need to know business studies terminologies or business terminologies. Okay, let me just keep it simple. You need to understand business terminologies. Don't let me say business study. Business terminologies. I think that's the best way to put it. Okay, you need to understand business terminologies. You need to understand key terms, because in your exams, your examiners will be using key terms to ask you questions. For instance, they might say something like, let me see, something like, what example can I give you now? They might use something like e-commerce, They might use something like pest analysis. When they say, oh, pest analysis, can you explain what pest analysis means or pest means? You know, so these are key terms. You know, pest means political, economics, social, pests, political and technology. Yeah, pest analysis. Those are the external factors that affect businesses. Okay, so they might just use any key terms to ask you questions, and you too must be able to understand key terms and be able to use them in your analysis or in your explanations in the exams when you're answering those questions. All right. You need to understand how to explain quantitative data, which is what I showed you earlier on that paper 2, which is quantitative analysis. You know, the cash flow, the business plan and everything. You must be able to explain them, and you must be able to work them out as well. So you must also understand how to analyze case study or scenario-based questions, because they're going to be giving you loads of scenario questions, and they will expect you to be able to understand them, analyze them, you know. So you need to be going into past questions to analyze different types of scenario-based questions. Okay, you need to familiarize yourself with them. So the more you treat those questions, the more you will understand how to answer those questions. Okay, you must also understand how organizational structure is formed. Let me do this. Organizational structure is formed. Okay, because every organization must have, or every business, let me call it that way, say it that way, every business must have an organizational structure, the way the business is structured. Okay, so if somebody has a business and they don't have organizational structure, they'll fail. That business will fail, definitely will fail, because no business can perform without having a structure. So a structure is very, very important. I think I got the spelling wrong here. Structure. I mean to write structure. Let's see. Structure. Yes, that's correct now. So understand how organizational structure is formed. Okay, or is formulated. So I will show you all this in details when we get there. All right. Okay, dear. Let's go to other areas. What else have I got to show you now for this? Because I don't want this video to be too long for you. So the next one is this. Okay. The last but not the least, you must practice past exam questions. This is very, very crucial. Okay. You must practice past exam questions. If you want to pass this business studies or all subjects, actually, you must practice past exam questions. From the past exam questions, you're going to get clues on how the examiners ask questions and which questions they usually ask, or the common questions they ask that they always ask in the exams. So this is very, very important. Okay. All right. So I'm going to recap now. Okay. So in order to recap on this video, so what business studies is all about? So business studies is about deciding on the type of business to do and planning on how to do it. Glassy poo. Poo 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 poo. When you remember poo poo, a glassy poo, then you remember this side. Okay. Okay. The other thing is business studies is about understanding the external factors that could affect your business to gel. Business studies is about deciding on your method of production and how to supply your goods or services. If you're having a business, you must decide on how your production will take place and how to supply your goods and services. Okay, we call that JBMF. Then the business studies is about understanding different ways the business will get money to do the business and how to account for all the business coming in and going out of the business, which is the performance appraiser and the financial analysis and management that I spoke about earlier on. Then business studies is about how to promote and advertise the goods and services that the business is producing. Business studies is about determining the type of people to employ to work for the business, how many people is needed, when, how, and at what cost. So that's all you need about in this Gcse business studies. Decision making. Yeah, number one, decision making on, what type of business do I want to do? How do I plan it? What do I need to consider when I'm planning it? Okay. Then, what are the external factors that will be affecting the business? Okay. What method of production do we really have to embrace or use? And how do we supply the goods to the customers? Okay, what ways can we use to raise money? Where we're gonna get money from, the capital from, to do the business, because every business needs money. Okay, how do I promote the business, advertise the goods so that everybody knows that I've got the goods and I've got the services, I can provide services. So this is about marketing. Okay, then determining the type of people to employ to work for you, the kind of skills needed, how many people you need, when, how, and at what cost. This is all your examiners expect you to know. This is all your syllabus, Gcse syllabus. Okay, so we're gonna be taking them one by one in turn, in different series, and we're gonna be expounding on each area of your syllabus. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do, yes, Becky, these are your private study codes. So we will be building up different private study codes for each chapter, each lesson. So for today's lesson, the key study codes that were being made up are Glassy Pool, Tigel, JBMF Productions, Cell. Cell are the material resources needed in operating a business. Okay, so which means the capital, C for capital, E for enterprise, L for land, L for labor. So capital means money, you will need money for business. Enterprise means you need the skills, for to run a business. Land means you need a location, maybe an office or a production site or something like that. L means labor, means you will be recruiting people to do the job for you. Okay, so the private study codes for today are Glassy Pool, Tigel, JBMF, and Cell. All right, so you must master those things. All right, they will help you to remember things in the exams when you're doing your exams. All right, Becky. Please, Becky, let me know if you are struggling to understand any aspect of this introductory session before the next lesson. Okay, you are in school now, so when you come back home, try to work on this and revise this, and let me know if there's any area you're struggling with, or talk to me when you get home. Okay, or send me an email from school. If you are viewing this in school, you can send me an email before you get home so I can have a look for you, so that we don't have to waste any time, because time is of essence. Okay, all right. What next? Now, what next? Okay, in the next video, which is the next lesson, we're going to be looking at your chapter 1 of your business studies, which is business activity. So we're going to be taking the first part of your syllabus, which is deciding on the type of business to do and how to do it, the Glassy Pool. So the next lesson will be Glassy Pool. We're going to be expounding on the Glassy Pool, what Glassy Pool really incorporates. What is in Glassy Pool? What is Glassy Pool? What do we need to know about Glassy Pool in making decision about having a business? Okay, all right, so I hope you'll be looking forward to the next lesson now. Okay, Becky, So bye, Becky. See you later. Love from mommy. I hope you enjoyed the music I played for you earlier on. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna play that video for you again because I want you to smile. I want you to laugh and dance when you finish studying. Okay? All right. So let's go there. Let's sing a bit. Let me sing for you. Hold on. Becky, this is for you. Mommy shere tiatara o mommy shere temi tiatara o mommy shere tiatara o mommy gbo temi tiatara o ya shere gbàdúrà fún mi bá mi a shere gbàdúrà fún mi. Máa wà kúrúkú wọn ní bàbá ẹ lọ́kọ. Ìyá mi pọ̀ nínú dòdè dáadáa. Tó tọ́ omi láyé. Yémi o. Ṣé rere tí ó dára? Bam bam, bam 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 bam. Becky. Becky me, bim 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 bim. Ṣé rere tí ó dára? Ọmọ mi ṣé tèmi tí ó dára? Ọmọ mi ṣé rere tí ó dára? Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí ó dára? Mami á ṣé rere gbàdúrà fún mi. Ọwọ́ mi á ṣe rere gbàdúrà fún mi. Ọmọ tí bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní bàbá ẹ̀ ló kọ́. Ọmọ tí bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní màmá ẹ̀ ló kọ́. Ìyá mi fọ́nà tó dá omi láyé. Bàbá mi fọ́nà tó dá omi láyé. Dem dem dem. Tí a lọ ṣe rere, tí a dára o. La 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 la. Becky me. So Becky, that song was dedicated to you. I hope you enjoyed it. So I see you later when you come back home. All right, take care of yourself. See you later, darling. See you later. Bye, dear.